Hey guys, this is Philip and welcome to another On the Road. Let me ask you a question. Do you hate cancer? Have you lost someone very special to you from that horrible disease? I know I have. This last weekend, I was in LaGrange, Texas, the Remnant Church, and I sat down with the associate pastor, Kolbe Hill, dear friend of mine. January 2011, he was at MD Anderson and he was told he had stage 4 mesothelioma, almost the worst cancer you could get. Social worker came in and told him he needed to fill out his will. They told him to go home and be with his family. He might have 6 months to live. Here it is in 2019, May, and that man of God is still alive and he's cancer free. Listen, I want you to hear his amazing story. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, this is Philip. Welcome to On the Road. I am here in LaGrange, Texas. I'm at the Remnant. Dear friends, Pastor Dennis and Jan Hill, pastor here, been preaching here for a long time. And this guy right here, this is the associate pastor. This is Kolbe Hill, and TBI graduate, one of the finest young men to ever graduate from the school.
The finest.
The finest. And then got rewarded when he graduated TBI by marrying up.
Yes.
You got a hold of Rachel Hill, and the rest is history.
It is. 2
little girls, and they're doing a great work here at the Remnant. But we want to talk about something today. You know, in January 2011, you're at MD Anderson, right? Mm-hmm. You're sitting in an office. It's your wife's birthday. A doctor walks in and is fixing to give you the worst news you've ever gotten in your life. Tell us what happened that day.
So we had found out through a biopsy that I had some type of cancer towards the end of November of 2010, and so that was devastating, of course. It was terrible, but we were going through the process. We were believing God, praying, and believing to be healed, and but we didn't know exactly that. I was going through all kinds of tests through the holidays, and it was January 18th of 2011 that they finally decided, hey, we got to get to the bottom of what's going on. They stuck a camera in my abdomen, and they took there was hundreds of tumors lining the hundreds of tiny tumors lining the my abdominal cavity, and so anyways, it was that was the day that it really hit, because they sent a doctor in to read the report to us after they took the pictures and did all that, but the doctor didn't stay long. It was shortly after that I guess it was a social worker or somebody.
Right.
They came in, and the first thing they asked us to do, they asked me to do, was to fill out my will.
Fill out your will.
Fill out my will.
Okay, and that's got to be okay. Phil, it's on now.
It's on.
This is real.
So I freaked out. I refused to fill it out, and because I wasn't ready to. I just knew. I knew that God had something better for my life, and so the doctor came back in and he said, "Look, you've got 6 months to a year. We don't have any kind of treatment plans that would work for your type of cancer."
What was the official name they gave the cancer?
Mesothelioma, stage 4 mesothelioma.
Stage 4 mesothelioma. Isn't that like the worst?
It's bad.
It's bad.
Like 0%.
0% survival rate.
Yes.
Okay, it's on. This thing's getting even more real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just told me to go home, enjoy your family.
Go home, enjoy your family.
Yeah, nothing to do, no treatment.
Now, didn't you tell me one of the things they considered they wanted you to do was, what did they want to do to your stomach?
Well, we researched it, and there was a doctor, I think in Washington, D.C., who was doing this specialized surgery for this type of cancer. It was very experimental. They wanted to rip my stomach open, pull all my guts out, scrape the lining of my abdomen, fill me up with chemo.
Gotcha.
And then put all my guts back in.
Yeah.
It was going to be like a 30-day in bed, not being able to walk, and so survival rate from that surgery wasn't even good.
Sounds not fun.
Anyway, yeah, it wasn't a real option
so
to us.
You go home, your world's been turned upside down. I'm sure a couple of tears flowed.
Just a few, yeah.
Turned right inside out. Life's over. You got wife, kids, ministry, dreams, and you're only, how old were you?
I was 29.
29. Okay. Now, I know, because we've been friends for a long time, I know where you wound up. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the medical side, the spiritual side. But before you tell us where you wound up, what was the process that got you there? And then once you got there, what happened medically? And then what happened, more importantly, spiritually, that allowed you, listen, to be, that was January 2011. Here we are, 2019. Have you noticed he's still alive? Looks pretty good, you know? Pretty good looking guy. He's still here. That allowed you to still be alive today and cancer free. Walk us through that process.
You know, just receiving that kind of devastating news, first you're numb, you don't know what's going on. And then we just decided, hey, we're not going to roll over. God gave me the scripture, Psalm 118:17, that I would not die but live and declare the works of the Lord. And so we just began to have faith and trust God. But still, it was even knowing which way to turn, because really all we had was, hey, let's just trust God, because there's no treatment
Right.
options. And I got a call from you.
Mm-hmm.
And you led me to a mutual friend of ours, Ginger Carmen,
Right.
Who had been diagnosed with a really difficult cancer, and she was doing well. And so I gave her a call.
Yep.
And Ginger told me that she had gone to Tijuana, Mexico, to Rubio Cancer Center.
Yep.
And man, I was just listening to her, and she was full of faith and full of hope, and she was doing well.
But she also broke it down medically.
Oh,
she
yeah,
broke
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a combination of research and expertise, and at the same time, ultra faith.
She did all the hard work for me.
All the hard work.
I mean, she
is an awesome lady.
She had done all the. I mean, I knew Ginger. I knew what kind of person
Yeah.
she was, and so we just took her at her word, and you know, at the time I almost felt kind of like I was failing. You know, like man, you know, if I really had faith, then I wouldn't have to go
Right.
do something like this. But you know, we just knew that God was leading us in that direction. We met with our family, and it was a lot of money. You know,
Yeah.
it was, you know, finances were a deal, but we just said, hey, you know, let's give this thing all we got. Let's trust God and see what happens. And so, yeah, we wound up.
So you get on a plane.
Get on a
Flying
plane.
to San Diego. Come get you in a van.
Little blue van.
Little blue
With
van.
a guy that doesn't speak English.
Take you to Rubio.
Yes.
And you know, we're not here promoting anything. You know, this is not a commercial for something. We're here giving God all the glory, but at the same time, this is his story.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to Rubio, you know, I know it's so detailed. The medicine is so detailed. But give us a nutshell of what Dr. Rubio did and what God did.
Dr. Rubio creates a customized cancer vaccine, and I mean, it's genius. He's brilliant. His son is brilliant, and it's an incredible process that they have. But anyway, without getting into the details and the nuts and bolts of it, it's a cancer vaccine, and they give that to you along with some other non-invasive therapies,
Right.
natural therapies,
And you were there for
I was there for a month.
You were there for a month.
For a full month.
a month.
And after that, I went back quite often, like once a month. And
Okay.
but anyways, it's, you know, I never lost my hair. I never never got sick. I was healthy. I was strong, and it's just an incredible process. And I mean,
Yeah.
I meet people all the time who are going
People
through,
there from all over the world.
all over the world. I met doctors there. You know, I've met people with every kind of cancer you can possibly imagine, and just seen some incredible things. But
So what was the main thing? What did God do in your heart while you were there?
you know, I was all alone. I came without Rachel. I came without the kids.
Oh, man.
And you know, for probably the first couple of weeks, I was pretty depressed, and finally I just decided, hey, you know, we're going to fight through this. I'm going to trust God through this, and truly to be in that dark, depressing, lonely place. It started a place for me in my relationship with God that I'd never been, and it kicked something off for me and God that truly has just grown out of that whole process.
Wow.
You know, I wanted and I prayed for somebody to lay hands on me and for me to be healed, and that's happened to me before. I've prayed for other people,
Yeah,
seen them
absolutely.
healed instantaneously, but you know, the amount of faith and the amount of trust that it took to get on an airplane, leave my family, and go to this to a clinic in the back alley of Tijuana. You know, it wound up, you know, being this thing that took. It did so much more for me to be able to walk with God through that process of you know, maybe not receiving that instantaneous healing, but trusting Him step by step along the way, and so yeah. It was,
So when you left, how much of the cancer? You were there a month. How much of the cancer was gone after you left? As you left?
we came back, and the cancer, I was full of fluid. My lungs were filling up with fluid. My abdomen was filling up with fluid, and we got scans whenever we got back, and the fluid was probably half of what it was.
Okay.
And then we were getting scans every month at MD Anderson.
At MD
Houston.
Anderson, and you're continuing to take the vaccine.
Yes, taking the vaccine, doing all the therapies, going back and visiting.
Back and forth.
Dr. Rubio in Tijuana, and it was probably a full year afterwards that we got the all clear report.
All clear.
All clear, no
And
cancer.
then you go back to MD Anderson every year, right?
Yes.
And every year, what do they tell you?
They tell me that they don't like to say things, so they don't tell me a whole lot, but they show me the scans, and my doctor, I have a great doctor, he just says, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I think you will.
Yeah.
I think
no
you
doubt.
will. So 2019,
2019.
cancer free.
Love it.
Mesothelioma, the
Gone.
bad boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here recently you wrote a book, and I know you got it right over here. Let me see it. You wrote a book. Remember when it came out, From Triumphant in Tragedy, Kolbe Hill, Finding Faith, Hope, Courage in Your Darkest. Well, I guess you know what a dark hour is.
Yes.
What made you want to write the book?
I'll tell you what made me want to write that book. Whenever I was going through that process, I was looking for something or somebody who not just could tell me how it was once I got to the other side of it, but somebody who truly stood with God and trusted Him all the way through. And I read this book. I was searching for that type of book, something to give me hope and encouragement in that moment.
Right.
And not tell me how great it's going to be on the other side. And I read this book, and it was by a pastor who had cancer. And the gist of the book was, our fate is out of our control.
Yeah.
Just thank God that you're saved, and you're going to wind up in heaven one day. And
just go with it.
You can't change the circumstance that you've been given. And that really stirred something in me, because I didn't want to just roll over and die.
Right.
I wanted to trust God, even though things were looking pretty dire and pretty bleak. And so I just that inspired me to want to write my story. And not that I did everything perfectly through our situation, but
nobody's perfect, maybe except your wife.
She's pretty close. But just some of the practical steps, and some of the spiritual steps that we took that led me closer to God and closer to healing, and so it's just a book. It's full of faith. It's full of hope.
Amen.
And it's written specifically for those who are literally in the throes of trauma, of difficulty.
Well, it's needed. And I know they can get it at the Remnant Church, but where else can they get the book?
They can get on Amazon.
Amazon?
Yes, and if they want me to be more blessed by that purchase, they can get it at my website. And
what's the website?
KolbeHill.com.
KolbeHill.com. Don't get one, get two. Get one for yourself, and then sow it into someone's life who's going through some tragedy right now. And
it's not just for folks with cancer. I mean, this is
it's just dark hours.
Yeah, it's dark hours. It's the difficulties that we go through, and that's something that you can grab a hold of in the moment. That's going to lead you closer to Him and closer to faith and victory.
Praise God.
Yes, sir.
Philippians 2 says, "Wherefore, being found in the fashion of a man, he humbled himself. He became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore God hath highly exalted him, give him a name that's above every name." And so I just wanted to end this video with the name of Jesus is greater than the name of cancer. And we need to begin to declare that, think that, believe that, and let's stop giving cancer the respect that we are, and let's give Jesus all the praise, the glory, and the honor. Amen. Hey, thank you for watching this on the road. To see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, PBM Philip Baker. If you're watching it on Facebook, share it, because somebody is going through hell right now. They're going to watch this video, and it's going to give them hope. Have a good day. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video. For more of On the Road, subscribe to our YouTube channel, PBM Philip Baker. Hit that bell and you'll get a notification when we post another video. Hey, do us a favor and like it, share it, and as always, be blessed.